just going to be a small group, I think. So I'm Becky Cooper. Casey, I know I've seen you before. And Rebecca, I think I've seen you on team calls maybe before or something. So anyway, welcome. So we are here. Should we all just put our selves on mute unless we're going to chat and then just take yourselves off of mute? Is that cool? We are all here to work on our mission, which is our team mission is helping others live their best lives while we live ours. So some of you, hopefully, did you guys get a chance to, if you didn't already have a chance to listen to the Platinum Presenters live last week, hopefully you got to listen to the recording. That was the first coach orientation call last Thursday. And then there'll be 2 more coach orientation calls the next following 2 Thursdays, both at 7:30. So hopefully you'll be able to get on those, and whatever you're not able to get on, we will record, and Emily will send out to you guys in the email communications that she's sending out. So were you guys at Platinum Presenters, or did you see that yet? You can raise your hand if you did. No? Okay. Check out, you did, Rebecca? Okay, good. Did you get time to work on inviting, or did you get any time? Did they have time to do anything on that call?
No, it was really short. It was just like a half hour,
Okay.
just kind of going through the process, and then like kind of like a Q&A,
Yep. Okay.
which it was still good and still informative,
Yeah.
but
Okay. Okay, though, that's good to know. Just so we know, we're going to try to set aside some time tonight for you guys to do. Since we got started late, we'll still try to be done, like have this entire call be like 45 minutes. So I'm thinking if we started at 7:45, are you guys okay to go to 8:30? Or whatever. Maybe we'll get through things quicker. Okay. But we want to be respectful of your guys' time, but yet have some time, you know, with the little glitch getting started here tonight, for you guys to do some work. So some of you might be here to you know, earn enough money, maybe just to pay for your monthly Shakeology, or maybe some of you are looking to help make a car payment or chip away debt, or maybe retire yourself from your daytime job or retire your husband. Everybody's here for a different reason. And so we are here, Jenny and I are here to give you guys tools to use, to kind of use as a springboard to get started coaching. And I want you to think about what your goals are with coaching, and the actions. And we'll kind of talk about this a little bit at the end too, but making sure that whatever your goals are with coaching, whether they're small or big, that your actions are matching your goals. So for instance, there is from Platinum Presenters, there is a tracker for those who want to walk, jog, or run with coaching. And it's a really good tool. Emily is going to send it out to you guys after this, right after this call tonight, so that you can kind of get a sense of, if I want to walk and if I have kind of just small goals, I'm just kind of dabbling with coaching right now. These are the actual actions that I should be doing, how many times a week, and for, you know, it's very, very good. And same thing if you want to jog or if you want to run with this. So just make sure, keep that in mind, whatever your goals are, big or small, that your actions are meeting those goals, because we can't expect a 6-figure income in the next 4 years or whatever it is and just be doing, you know, 5 minutes a day of coaching. So, and on the other hand, if our goals are just to, you know, pay for our monthly Shakeology, we shouldn't be spending 8 hours on coaching a day, obviously. So anyways, we're going to get to doing some invites. We're going to carve out some time for you guys to do some invites. And this can be kind of scary, so we're just going to be here to do it together. And so I think I will just go ahead and hand it over to Jenny to talk a little bit about inviting. Jenny, and we are recording. Perfect. Okay. You're on mute.
Sorry, it's unmuted. Are you familiar with the files that we share on Team YBF, Rebecca, Casey? Those files that are shared out, like for example, the Platinum Presenter scripts. Should I show you where that is at? Do you know where that's at, Rebecca? Okay, so good. I know I've printed these out. They're very good. Elizabeth also printed out some objections. If you haven't checked those out, print those out. If you're familiar with that, I won't go over it. I'm going to share my screen then, and I'm just going to show you something that really helped me, I guess, as a new coach. Can you see this? Yes? Okay. So when I first started coaching, on a national wake up call, one of the coaches did this strategy called peanut butter and jelly. And think about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's bread, your peanut butter, your jelly, and then some more bread. So the good stuff, of course, is the peanut butter and the jelly. And that is steps 2 and 3. So it's a 4-step process. But this really helped me when I was first formulating some of my initial invites that just I felt seemed a little more authentic. I think one of my biggest holdbacks when I was inviting is I felt salesy. I felt awkward, maybe a little bit icky. And this really resonated with me. And I remember sharing this with a few friends or coaches on our team, and it really helped all of us because we're all kind of at the same spot. So first step is just to thank them, you know, whether they're watching your story or they've commented on one of your posts, or maybe it's just somebody that you know, okay? You know, we want to invite the people that we want a part of our challenge group. So like relating to them, complimenting them, relating them to you or how you have something in common. Then you invite them, you include an out. That was the part that helped me, I guess. I liked having some type of out. And what I like to do, even though I still have an out, I still end it with a question so that I can have a conversation. So I'm just gonna give you some examples. And I guess for me, I spend a little more time on my invites because it just makes me feel a little more authentic. So like, for example, this gal, she ran the Twin Cities 10 mile. So I congratulated her for running that race, connected with her. You know, that's me complimenting her, how we have some things in common. And then here is my invite. I hope I'm not being too forward, but I'm always looking for positive, upbeat, health-minded women to join my health and fitness group. I just thought I'd mention it since I never know who might benefit from this opportunity like I have. It's kind of like my out. I've always thought that you fit right into a group. Have you ever considered joining one? So that's one kind of twist on the peanut butter and jelly invite. Here's another one I wrote to my friend Jennifer. Again, we just happen to have running in common. These are people that I do connect with just because that's easier for me. This one's a better one, I think, because it's short. People are busy, so they're not going to want to read a long message. Just real quick, wanted to reach out to you about my ongoing virtual fitness and nutrition group. I would love for you to be a part of it since you already enjoy health and wellness. Have you ever considered joining one? These don't all have outs, but for me, I guess I kind of liked that when I first started. And I didn't always have a question, and I felt like those didn't go anywhere. So I guess my number one tip would be to always end your invite with some type of question so you can keep your conversation going.
Another quick, can I just add real quick,
Yeah.
Jenny? Another quick out is to say, like maybe for instance, right before you say, have you ever considered joining one? Just a quick out is, and if not, if you're not interested, no biggie, you know, just, it's such a simple little statement. But then you could end it. I like that you end it with a question because then that still leaves them with something to continue the conversation with anyways.
Yeah, that national wake up call always had you end with your out. But I felt like I liked that, but I felt like sometimes those conversations went nowhere. Like they didn't respond back. Where when you can creatively get that question in there, you keep the conversation going. And even if you end with a question and maybe they don't respond back, I will follow up. Hey, did you receive that? And in regard to the question. So anyway, that was just one method that I just thought was really good. But with invites and follow-ups, I do kind of feel like there's different categories. So for me, like I have this on my desktop because there's different times that we're inviting, for our challenge groups, but I know I'm always inviting to my people who are following me on social media. So I can share these with you if you want. Just some of my go-to invites for those. If they're commenting on posts on social media, whether they're fitness or nutrition related, kind of have some of my go-tos. My
Are you
quote
able to
invites.
scroll? Are you able to scroll down just a little bit so we can
Yep.
see the rest of the messages?
Yep. And sometimes, it's not that I'm really inviting, I just have some conversation starters too. And I don't use these as much anymore, but when I first started, I did. The more you do
Jenny,
it, the easier it gets.
do you have this, the PB&J invite, is that on Team YBF?
It is not. It was actually something I told Becky about this last week because I was just thinking back to when I first started, and I just remember listening to that national wake-up call and being like, praise Jesus, this is what I need, because I just felt awkward about inviting. It gave me that sick feeling in my stomach. I'm like, how am I going to get over this? And for me, it was having an out. Somewhere in that invite, I had an out, and it made me feel better about sending them. I mean, we're all different, but yeah.
So would you be able to add this, or are you wondering, Rebecca, where you can get it then?
Yeah, because it's hard to read. I've got Zoom on my phone.
Yep,
so-
gladly. I'll put it on Team YBF in the files section.
Thank you so much.
So anyway, I don't know, for me, it just helped to have some scripts when I first started as a quick reference. And then I felt like I was more efficient with my time, and they're always changing now, but sometimes it's helpful to have something to reference.
Yeah, and in Team YBF under the files, so you go to more and then files and then the platinum presenters. There within that those files, there are exactly what Jenny's talking about. You guys, there's invitations for coaches. There's invitations for inviting to your challenge group, inviting to coaching, how to deal with, and we're not necessarily digging into this tonight, but how to deal with. What's the word when they say no? Rejections. Thank you. Yep. So lots of good stuff in there.
And I really think this platinum presenters is so good. I mean, it really goes by category, inviting to followers on Instagram, to inviting to your upcoming challenge group. It has invites for coaching. It also has follow-up ideas. But yeah, for me, I guess I needed to have something to go to. What am I going to say to my people who are following me? What am I going to say to people who are commenting on my posts on social media? What am I going to say to people I don't even know? What am I going to say to maybe some of my friends and family members? And so I just kind of had some go-to quick invites. It didn't have to be anything fancy, short and to the point, rather than long. I know that was one of my big mistakes. I still get too wordy.
And always asking questions too.
Always asking questions, yes. Keep the conversation going, and even if they tell you no, dig deeper, see if they'll be willing to share more. I'm going to stop my share.
Okay. Well, should we go right into, Jenny? Should we go into 10 minutes of work of inviting? Do you guys, do you have what you need, or does anybody want Jenny to share in the chat one of those that you can copy and paste, or hello? You're good? Okay. So we'll give you guys like 10 minutes if you would like to just get on your Facebook page, or if you have posted anything recently, you can respond to people who have liked your post or who have commented on your post or who are watching your stories. Those are really great people to reach out to. Or you can go through your email list or your Facebook friends and just go down the list and just start conversations with people. So those are a couple of ideas of how to get started. And if you guys have any questions at all during this next 10 minutes, just let us know, okay? Okay, should we start to wrap up? Just wrap up what you're doing and then we'll come back in just a minute. Okay, well, is it okay if we kind of come back together as a group? So how did that go, you guys? You can unmute yourselves if you'd like. How did the inviting go?
Still working on it.
What's that?
I'm still working on it. I did print off the script and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to come off too like salesy and
Yep.
you know, I just want to share with people how much Beachbody's been awesome for me and
Yeah. And
You know.
and that's like if you say that, like if you just
Right.
type that, what you just said.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, you make a connection with them first, you know, like Jenny said, the PB and jelly. You're connecting with them about however you know them or whatever you have in common. And then you're like, just be honest, just be authentically you, and people can hear that in your messaging too. And yeah, I mean, if you think about putting that you are going to make money aside from this, like even if you never made a dime, like
Right.
you know, sometimes I think we share more authentically when there is no money attached, to be quite honest.
Right.
Which is, you know, is silly, but it's, you know, we just have to kind of um change our mindset, I guess, you know, in that you're money or no money, this shit is good. This is good stuff, and I'm living proof. So there, you should check it out. Yeah, yeah, and it's practice, and you know, and
And just
and
finding
it's okay.
just the right words.
What's that?
Just finding just the right words instead of,
Yeah,
you know, because a lot of the platinum presenter scripts and stuff sound very, you know, kind of wordy and kind of
sure. Yep,
fake to me. But it's
yep,
like that's not how I would talk to my friends. But
exactly, and
I
that's
also just want to, yeah, be real.
exactly. And those are
Yeah.
just guidelines, just gives you ideas of, you know,
Right.
but absolutely, you would never want to just copy and paste and throw it in somebody's inbox if that is not,
Right.
doesn't sound anything like you. So that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's perfect. And like I said, the more you do it, the more it's going to get easier, and you're going to find your own groove, you're going to find your own flow, and it's just becomes second nature. And not to say we still don't fumble or still don't have word vomit, you know, like you're just so
Right.
excited, you want to tell them everything. And I've done this too. I've come back and I've apologized and said, you know what, I'm really sorry if I word vomited all over you. I am so passionate about this that sometimes I have to slow myself down. So I apologize. Let's start over. So we
Have you done like voice message invites? That's where I'm at with a few people now. I mean, we've been talking.
yes.
So I just come in with I try and come in with my heart and soul. They can hear it in my voice. And then after that voice message, I still ask them a question.
Mm-hmm.
And just a different way of doing it. And then
Yeah.
you'll feel a little more authentic about it.
Yes.
And I think that, yeah, it will come across a lot more authentic if it's voice.
Yes.
Check.
I always think, I'm like, I don't, you know, there's a lot of coaches who do just email, and I don't. Like everything I do is in voice messaging. Everything. If I lost my Facebook or Instagram, that would be like the end of the world to me, because yeah, and anybody that I connect with, like if Beachbody gives me customers, first thing I do is I find them on IG or Facebook and I tell them how much I love the voice messaging feature and that you can hear my voice and we can converse so much faster. So
Yeah. That's a good idea with your free customers too. Yeah, I like that, because sometimes it's hard to get them to respond back, but it's so true. Anytime you can either get somebody on the phone, and if not, then voice message. I use that all the time. And if it's something you're not used to, and I wasn't used to use, I never use it. I didn't even know it was a feature. And a lot of times people still don't even know that it's a feature until I send them a message. They're like, "Oh, this is so cool. I didn't even know." But anyways, it's like anything else, you get used to it. But yeah.
I think it's just a nice personal touch too. I think
Mhm.
that you're going to be able to connect better, I just think personally, with the voice messaging versus a text. Somebody's going to be more likely to respond, I think, to a voice message versus a text. Not always,
Yeah.
though.
Definitely. It's kind of like being in a car and walking on the street. When you're in a car, you're way more likely to um, dismiss somebody or flip them the bird than if you are face to face with them or walking down the street next to them. You know what I mean? It really is. Texting versus voicemail. They're not going to be as likely to dismiss you if they hear the passion and the emotions in your voice than just seeing the typing. But obviously texting is a great way to get the conversation started. Casey, do you have anything to add? Any struggles or anything that, because you've been doing this for a while, right? Coaching?
I have, yes. And I'm actually in Emily's push group, and that's been
Yeah.
helpful to be, on a tracker and stuff. I will say I usually invite when he's sleeping.
Yes.
We just
Yep.
didn't get back in time for me to put him to bed before this call. So
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Makes sense.
obviously it's a lot harder when he's awake.
Of course. Such a cutie. Well, like I said, you guys, Emily will send out everybody a recording of this. So Jenny will get the recording over to Emily, and then Emily will also send out that walk, jog, or run tracker. So Casey, for you, if you're already using a tracker, are you in a push group too, Rebecca? Or are you? Because you're just getting started, yeah. But Casey, it is nice because I still use my own tracker. I probably am using the same tracker that you're using, and Jenny is too. But it just kind of helped me understand, like, what are 7 invites? Does that include follow-ups? And does that include, reaching out and yeah, anyways, check it out when you get it, because it's still helpful. You can still use your tracker that you're using, but it just breaks it down, and it just makes it's a little bit easier, I think, to understand and to make sure you're like doing all the things and getting credit for it all. So
Yeah, and for me, the digital copy helped because it shows you your percentage at the end
Yes.
too. And like on paper, I do like some things paper, pencil, or whatever, but to have that digitally makes it easier for me too because I travel so much, and taking
Yeah.
paper, like I don't have a printer. I don't take a printer with me everywhere. You know what I mean?
right.
So having the digital copy just made that part a lot easier for me to make
Yeah.
sure I was actually doing the things. And
For sure. Yep. That
Yeah.
percentage, to see it tally up and is
Yeah.
definitely helpful. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions or any last minute thoughts before we wrap it up? Otherwise, again, just go ahead. Were you going to say something, Casey?
yes, I just had, this is totally not related to this, but I had a couple of my challengers say that their groups disappeared today. Has that happened to anybody?
No.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it's there for me, but
Is it your group? Are you running the group?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if it was do they need to download, uninstall, and re-download the app or something? Or
Oh, my cousin said she deleted it and re-downloaded it, and it's still not there.
and does she
So
have an invite? Like, do you need to
Yeah.
resend her an invite to it or something?
I could try.
Maybe
Yeah.
try that. I don't know.
She was already in there because the group were on day 11. So
Right.
I don't know. but
I haven't.
than anybody else.
Yeah, I haven't. But if I do, if I come across that, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly how to fix it, but
Right.
if
They
she
might-
already did it and re-downloaded it, but
She might have to connect with tech support too, just do a chat,
yeah.
customer service.
Anyway,
The techie, let the techies figure it out. It ain't me.
yeah, right. It's
That's-
still there.
That's why we pay our $16 a month for tech support, customer support with that.
Yeah.
I have when the VOD groups just launched and it was just a mess. I have on my computer, if they still have issues, let me know. And I have just the directions that I send them, walking them through how to report a tech problem. So if you need that.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, within the app itself.
Yeah, I had to do that with a few ladies because we had uninstalled the app and we did other things and I didn't know what else
Yep.
to do. So there's a couple different ways versus like if they do it on their laptop, desktop versus their phone. But they should screenshot it. I don't think that there's really anything to screenshot with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Just steps. I don't know. That has helped.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see. She said everything else on the app is working. It's just the group that's not there. So I
Okay.
don't know.
Technology, love, hate.
Yeah. But anyway,
Anything else? Any other last minute questions? Otherwise, make sure you're reaching out to your upline coach if you have any questions along the way. Hopefully the coaches are creating their own little message thread with coaches in there so that you have your small little pods to ask questions in a smaller group. Otherwise, like I said, Emily will follow up with the emails on what comes next. And otherwise, just make sure your calendars are marked for the next 2 Thursdays at 7:30. And it'll be 2 different leaders leading the next 2 calls. So you get a little variety and learning from other people, other learning styles, other personalities. And so thank you guys for hopping on tonight.
sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you guys. Have a good night. Thank